Hi everyone, welcome to Yothera. My name is Jessica, and I wanted to do a video today on the subject of grief. And the main point that I wanted to talk about today is that grief is not just about loss. A lot of times we put those two together. We think the word grief and we think about everything that we're losing or someone that's lost everything. And while that's true, it's part of grieving. A lot of times loss does come with grief. It is also about rebirth, and it's about transformation and change. And a lot of times we're so stuck in our process of change. We're just trying to get by. We're just trying to get to the next step that we can't really see in the moment what's being birthed within ourselves internally and also externally during that time, because we're in kind of survival mode. And one thing that's really important that I work with my clients on is to keep the perspective of seeing the bigger picture, that you're going to come out the other side. We may not know when, we may not know how, but that's where trust comes in. And you do ultimately always come out on the other side of grief, even if it takes years. And so if anyone that's hearing this today or felt called to listen to this, if you're going through tons of transformation and grief, maybe there's something that's happened years ago or is even maybe currently happening in your life right now that's bringing up a lot of that sadness and loss, see if you can keep the bigger perspective that change and transformation is actually part of life. Change is the only absolute in life. And so practicing non-attachment, so not attaching to when things are good, not attaching to when things are, quote, bad or not good, because everything always changes. And it's something that we can take refuge in when we're in times of despair or just a lot of letting go. So this is definitely a time I've noticed of a lot of letting go, a lot of integration. That's another part of grief that I wanted to talk about today, is integration. And integrating is something that we often skip over when we're grieving because we just want to get out of the pain. We just want to get to the other side. And I've done that myself, and I see it all the time with my clients. It's just normal and it's human. But if we don't take the time to really integrate the lessons that have shown up for us from whatever experience you're going through, we miss the gold. We miss the lessons that we can take forward into our lives. And sometimes it takes a therapist, sometimes it takes, a trusted friend or a mentor, a spiritual guide, somebody that you trust that can reflect back to you the true essence of you, your light, that can reflect back to you the truth of who you are and be able to help you navigate to see the higher lessons and the higher perspective in what's happening. So without the integration, oftentimes it's easy to slip into being a victim, being like a victim of life, and I understand there's levels to this, right? Sometimes we are victims of things, but oftentimes we default to that because we're not really sure how to take an empowered stance, how to see an empowered version of what's going on. And that's when I would encourage you to reach out to somebody that you trust or admire and value their insight on you and what's happening. So that could just be a handful of people. There's only a few people that I have in my life, maybe 2 or 3, that I really, really trust and value their opinion. And that's not because people don't have good opinions, but we do have to be discerning with who we allow to come into our space and give us feedback, especially when we're feeling really vulnerable at vulnerable times of our lives. So if you have been feeling called to have support, and if this resonates with you, please reach out to me. I'd love to work with you. Often groups are helpful as well. If you're going through something and you're really wanting to connect with other people, that's also really, really helpful in a group setting. So there's one-on-one options, there's also group options. I'll put some links down below. My next group starts October 8th. It'd be great to have you there. The people that I love working with are those that are looking for a non-traditional approach to mental health. So as you may already know, I'm a mental health therapist. I've been doing it for 10 years. I'm also a Phoenix Rising yoga therapist, a breathwork practitioner, Reiki certified, and I love bridging the two worlds. I love bringing Western and Eastern together. I love bringing psychology and embodiment and all of it together. So if you're looking for a more embodied approach to your mental health and working through trauma, working through anything that you feel like is dense in your life and you're having a hard time getting past it, Yothera is a great option for you. So I'm also still having a Labor Day sale through Friday if anyone's interested. You just have to book an intake appointment with me before Friday. You don't have to get in before Friday, you just need to book it before Friday. And then any package that we decide to do together, from working together from there, you'll get 25% off. So